Yesterday, during the WNBA All-Star Game warm-ups, the players decided to wear these shirts that say, "Pay us what you owe us." A very clear message and shot to the WNBA league as a whole, because the players do believe that they deserve more than what they're getting right now. I mean, the WNBA has gotten more popular now than ever before, obviously. You've got absolutely incredible players like, of course, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Paige Deckers, who's new to the league now, and then A'ja Wilson, of course, being the MVP. But after wearing these shirts, there's been a lot of chatter online about it, and I think a lot of misunderstandings about what it all really comes down to. Because the biggest thing that I've noticed after these players wore these shirts is that people are saying like, oh well, the WNBA lost $40 million. They're like at a $40 million loss this season, something like that. Pretty expectedly, this was going to be a hot topic because the WNBA is going to have some comparisons to the NBA, especially when it comes to how the players get paid and how much. But like I mentioned earlier, I think there's some giant misunderstandings about why the WNBA maybe, had a loss a little bit this season, or why the players don't make as much as maybe they should be for how much revenue the WNBA is making now. Thankfully, we got this really great post from Minnesota Timberwolves and Minnesota Lynx beat writer Andrew Dukowitz. I really hope I'm pronouncing that name right. He posted this on Twitter, which I think brings a lot of clarity and context to this entire situation about, what the WNBA players make in comparison to the NBA. It's just a really great post. He starts by saying, "I know this will be a firestorm topic. WNBA players currently receive just 9.3% of the league's revenue. This includes ticket sales, merch, TV deals. For reference, their male counterparts in the NBA is 50%. I mean, just that alone is a huge gap. Which, again, I understand the NBA has been established and super popular for a long time, but still, just seeing that just based on the numbers alone is unreal. This resulted in their salary cap being set at just $1.5 million for this year, less than half of Joe Ingles' $3.6 million. I mean, look, Joe Ingles making more than their entire salary cap. Joe Ingles? I mean, that is crazy. That's unreal. I mean, again, this is hopefully kind of painting a better picture here. In theory, if they received even 40% of the league's revenue, that salary cap would be at $6.481 million. That increase would mean roster expansion could occur. Players could theoretically still make 3 times their current salary, and owners would still bring in 60% of the revenue. Now, to put that into perspective, that still means an entire WNBA roster would be paid less than Rob Dillingham will make in 2025-2026 at $6.5 million. Again, he's painting a great picture here in terms of the contrast and comparison between how much money they could make, even if the numbers were raised significantly, versus what one player is making alone. But this is really what I wanted to highlight here, because again, like I mentioned earlier, everyone has been talking about how this $40 million that the WNBA lost, is because it's just not popular or whatever the case. It's just a bunch of nonsense. He actually clears up very well why the league lost $40 million. He says, now yes, the WNBA did lose $40 million in 2024, but this is in large part due to the TV deal that they are currently signed to, which in 2026 goes from roughly $45 million annually to $200 million. This will result in the league making money overnight from losing 40 to a net gain of $155 million just on the TV deal alone. Even if the game and ticket sales were to stop growing, the merch stopped selling, it would still be in the green. That $40 million that everyone's been talking about is just nothing more than just a TV deal that's just going to improve significantly next year. Again, especially when you have players like A'ja Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, Caitlin Clark, of course, who we have seen literal crazy increase in ticket prices because Caitlin's just so popular. I mean, this just makes sense that their new TV deal is only going to make it so much better for them. But anyways, I digress. The current CBA would amount to players going from $1.5 million in a luxury cap to just $4 million, a substantial raise. However, it would cost the league just $2.5 million out of that 115 TV deal profit. I mean, again, just unreal margins there to help, what the WNBA players are really looking for here. If the players got 40%, that's just $17 million as a salary cap, and 11 times raise over their current salaries, and still in the grand scheme of things less than just one Jaden McDaniels. He finishes off this post by saying the league is built on players, whether you're Caitlin Clark, Asia, or a Fee fan, they deserve to get a bigger slice of the pie for the work they have all put in. The WNBA players are not asking to be paid dollar to dollar what the NBA players make. From what I understand, they just want a fair share of the revenue. Now let's enjoy some hoops. Let's go, man. Now that's a way to end a post. And I completely agree. I don't think the WNBA players are expecting to be paid as much as the NBA players because, again, the NBA is what it is. Very well established, very popular, and a lot of money to spend. But what they are asking for is to have just a fair share of the pie of the total revenue that the WNBA is producing now, thanks to the players. And from what it's looking like, at least by sometime next year, that could be very well the case, and there can only be room for improvement. I think the opportunities will only get even higher for the players after this new TV deal gets into place. So there you have it. I'm really hoping that this clears up a lot of the misconceptions that's going on with the WNBA and their players and how much money that they're making, how much money they can make. They absolutely deserve more. I don't think there's any argument that should be made against that. And I'm just excited to see that happen sometime next year. But please let me know in the comments what you think about all this. And until next time, peace.